Alrighty, here we go. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. So hopefully my video and audio is good. I know the last time I streamed I had some issues at first, but 5 by 5, that's good. I forgot I had ultra low latency on, so I was not prepared for that. Um, so that's good. Um, so today I'm planning, we're all planning to process. I have 6KH9 images that we got scanned as part of the GoFundMe I did back in the beginning of February, I think it was. Maybe it was March. I don't know, beginning of February or March, earlier this year. And had some people donate money, which was, well, I don't like the word donate, but contribute, to get some images scanned. Because I do some myself now and again, but it gets rather expensive very quickly. So I thought, why not reach out for help? I've done it once before and it was really, really successful. I did not expect that response, so I thought I'd give it a shot again. So these are the first 6 images we have, and I thought we could process them together. I have not looked at these in detail. I've only seen the previews just to make sure it's the right place. And other than that, I have not seen the full resolution images, and they are big, big chunky files. So I'm excited to share them with you guys. We can have a first look at them together while Windows generates previews of these very large images. I probably should have done that beforehand, but it's part of the fun. Cool, it's good to see you guys all here. And some familiar faces and names. That's really, really cool. I'm happy. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope this is going to be fun. I hope I'm not going to be like a scatterbrained mess like last time and do everything completely wrong. But why don't we just dig in? Let's just take a look at these images and see what we find. Maybe we can find some rockets on launch pads or something interesting. So if I remember correctly, there were some images in here that I wanted to stitch together. And I think it may be these two, the Baikonur ones. I don't know if I'll get around to doing that today, but let's just open up and see what's going on. Hey, Money 200. So what's going on here is, I was just explaining it before, but basically you can go to the USGS and download these declassified spy satellite images from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. A lot of them are not scanned, and if you want to get them scanned, you have to pay $30 per image, which is really cool. But I can't afford to do that too much because I spend enough money on satellite imagery as it is. So I decided to reach out to the community, the space community, and we raised some money to get some images scanned. And it takes a few weeks for the process for them to get scanned and then delivered to you. So I thought, why not take a look at these together? The first time I see these, I can share it with you guys, and then we can begin to put them together, process them before they go out to being publicly available for free on my website and other places around the internet. I hope that helps explain it. So yeah. That's awesome, Phil. I really, really want to go to that Air Force Museum and see that KH-9 sat on the floor. I believe it's right next to a XB-70, right? The really big plane, the supersonic bomber or whatever it was. Yeah, that's on my list. So, cat herder cam you added to the fund. Oh, thank you so much. That's absolutely awesome. I want to take a look now, but I don't want to embarrass you. Let me just take a look, because I have to log in and it's going to make me get a code. I'm going to do it because I appreciate your help. I'm going to go through the pain receiving a verification code live on stream. Look at that. Hopefully you guys can't see this and you can't hack me. But I really appreciate, any kind of support. None of the money goes to me. Let's just make that very clear. All of the money goes straight into images, so that That is beyond awesome, and I really, really appreciate your support. Um, hacking in progress. Yeah, and next to a Titan 4B. Ooh, one of the best rockets. I really want to go there. That's on my list. Anyway, let's go and take a look at this image. So this looks like this is the western side of Baikonur. So this is where like Proton and I don't know what else launches out of here, missiles and smaller rockets. I think this might be the Proton pad down here. Interestingly, it looks like there's a launch tower. So for anyone not familiar with Proton, I think it was Proton at the time. The Proton has a tower that rolls away from the pad, and the pad is here, and we can see the shadows of the tower here. For example, if you look at the other pad, you can see the tower has rolled away from where the launch pad was. So it's very possible that there is a rocket in here. We just can't see it because of the angle. But that's pretty cool. They have a cage 7 and a cage 8 in storage. Man, I love the cage 7. They got some of my favorite shots I've ever seen. Don't want to do that. And the cage 8, well, we've only seen a few shots from that thing, but it got insane resolution. What do we got down here? There's like missile silos everywhere out here. There's 1, 2, 3 right there. Those are all those are all destroyed missile silos now. If you go look at them on Google Maps, there's just giant holes in the ground, which is interesting. An interesting tactic, I guess. Here we go. What do we got in this one? This is just a bit further along, right? They're all shipped in tiles because each one of these image tiles is like 500 megabytes. So if it was one image, it would just be ridiculous. I don't know if their scanner could even scan the full size of the image. So this is, boy, I don't remember the pad. Is it pad 41? The one where Soyuz is currently launching from at Baikonur? It's not Gagarin's pad. I don't think if that pad is in. No, it's not. Gagarin's is like just down here or somewhere. Getting distracted. Hey, look at that. Anyone recognize these launch pads? I do. One of the best launch complexes in the world, if you ask me. But I don't spy a rocket. And it was probably because this was too late for a rocket. What year was this? 72. No. That was around the time. So this must just be in between flights? Because I don't... Oh, wait, no. Hey, look, there's an N1 right there. It's upside down. Let me crop this, and we can take a look. Soyuz is out at 31.6. Thank you. I can never remember the name of the pads. What orientation was it in? I've lost it. There it is. So we like rotate like that, right? You see that? It's very pixely, but there is an N1 right here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, as in the giant N1, which is, we already have multiple images of it on the launch pad, but getting a new one is absolutely awesome. I don't remember if I did this intentionally, because it's been so long since I ordered the images, but another image of the N1 on the pad makes me happy. It is really, really awesome. Okay, 31. The R16 launch sites. Man, there are too many launch pads at Baikonur. There must be like hundreds of them, right? It's insane. There's not too much out here. Missile silos, lots and lots of missile silos. These are being built. That's pretty cool. One day I'm gonna have to try and put together a time lapse of all these images, spanning like 25 to 30 years. Just seeing Baikonur expand from like one launch pad and just going out to like the hundreds of launch pads across. I don't know how much area Baikonur covers, but it's a large area. More missile silos under construction. Is that that's like is that like the top of a silo? I'm not too familiar with like missiles and stuff, but it's like a domey looking thing with a hole in it. Maybe they were building a starship. That's like a the starship dome. I have no clue what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. So that's that image. Let's just go through and take a look at another one. This is the other Baikonur one, I believe. Okay, this one covers the rest of the area, which is good. So I think we can merge both of those together eventually. Once I get Windows previews of these. Or maybe I can just open them up. Take a guess, try to get the right image. 70 pads at Baikonur. Is that including missile silos, Justin? Because I feel like there's a lot. I'm just not quite sure. Did I ever find any information on the mystery? That confused me. The space shuttle thing on Esri way back, I genuinely don't understand what's going on. I think they just have the wrong image. Either the wrong image on the wrong date or the wrong date on the image. I couldn't figure out exactly what space shuttle it was and when the image was taken, but it's definitely wrong. Maybe we need to contact Esri about that and just let them know. Where is this? This is definitely Baikonur. I know that. I just don't know where I'm at. I'm not lost at all. Here we go. This looks right. Today, Baikonur consists of 9 launch complexes with 15 pads for rockets. Okay, so those are like the active launch pads, right? Because I know there's many, many more. A lot of them are just not used anymore. They've been destroyed. They've fallen apart. Things like that. Which is really sad. I get sad when I know that. Oh, sorry, distraction. Hey guys, look at this. Let's rotate the image. I feel like starting to feel like one of those like nature documentary guys when they see like an animal in the wild and they're like, whoa, take a look at that. There we go. That's a bit of a clearer shot of the N1. It's blown out, but I believe the N1 was also white at that point. Because this should be flight 4, which is the final flight. 52 miles between the 2 pads furthest apart. That's insane. One day we'll have to like grab like the Cape Kennedy Space Center and like smack it right in the middle of Baikonur, and it'll just look tiny. It'll be crazy. That is a really cool shot. That. Can you imagine being like one of the imagery analysts back in the 70s, and you get these images back from space, and you're like, damn, look what we found. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. And then seeing the other pad empty, that's really neat. This is what it's all about, right? Finding the cool stuff. And then it's always like checking the rails because you never know if something else is on the move. Like these are the 2, you can see my cursor, yeah. These are the 2 N1 transporters. I think they called them the Grasshopper, I think. Because they were just giant transporters. They're absolutely awesome. What do we got? We got like trains and buildings, and this is really cool. Over the best coast, Vandy? Yeah, I have some. They're up on my website. Let me see. So like, take a look. I'm gonna try and not get too distracted. But if you go to my website and you just sort location, wait, wrong one. There you go. There's a bunch of images of Vandy there. Only 4. I think I have more to do, but they are just cloudy. So I haven't rushed to do them because my main focus is definitely. Come on. Come on, Windows, please. This is a mess. But if you just hop over to my website and take a look, you can zoom in on them. There's some pretty cool stuff in there. Yeah, the dirt road's just going everywhere. Like if you if you zoom out and just like they just didn't care to follow roads back then, right? They were just like whatever's the quickest way to the launch pad, or away from it, I guess, depending on what you're doing. Anything out here? No hardware on the move, right? I'll have to pour over these images later when I can concentrate without boring you guys, because I don't want to sit here in silence just staring at these images. I feel like that would be really unfair. Pad 1, where Gagarin launched, right? Probably, I might get into trouble for saying this, but probably the most historic pad ever, maybe. I know 39A is really important, but like, you know, first human to go to space flew from here. That's pretty damn cool. Squirrel, yeah. I relate to Squirrel a lot. Someone mentioned something, my brain's just like, oh, that's all I'm going to think about right now. Cool. I mean, we've pretty much looked at everything in these Baikonur images now, because they were taken on the same days. What else we got? We got one of Huntsville. I wanted one of Huntsville because of the engine testing stand, right? Well, stands. Just because of how historically important those are, which are down here. It says either in, probably this one. Yeah. When I'm not streaming and I'm doing satellite imagery stuff, I'm just sat here in silence, just looking at details. So we got rocket engine test stands everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I believe this building here is, there's a very iconic shot. I'll see if I can find it. Of space shuttle. Boy, what was it? Enter, I think it was Enterprise. I'm gonna go Huntsville because I don't remember which space shuttle it was. Nope, wrong one. 1970s, probably. I'm not going to find the one, am I? Find that one shot. What about like? There's this shot, right? This is the building where they tested the space shuttle. It's a Pathfinder. Okay, it's not Enterprise. Shame on me. Do you think we could find? Yes, I think I may even have an image of it on my website regarding the X-15 runway. Edwards. That was Edwards, right? I want to say it was. Was it? Because actually, I don't see a run. I don't see the runways. Is this it here? There's like some lines going through the lake bed here. I'm not too familiar with the X-15, so I do apologize for that. But I think it was Edwards. And this was 67, which I don't know when the X-15 flew. It was like in the mid-60s. So I think this might be it. I know I'm getting distracted, but it's good distraction. It's good distraction. So I think that might be it. If so, that's pretty cool. I think the main reason I got the image of Edwards was because they have rocket engine stands up on these hills up here, which I didn't know about for the longest time. And someone's like, "Oh yeah, these engines were tested up there." I think like the F1 and a few other engines, probably many other engines, but they were all tested up on these hills. You can still see the test stands there today, but I think they're all abandoned, which is quite sad. Though I know ABL Was it ABL? I think ABL used one of them before they flew, which was pretty cool. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Hey, Matthew. Thanks for joining, and I appreciate all the support, and yeah, I'm happy to share images. Like, I enjoy looking at these images, so I kind of figure other people will enjoy looking at the images. So why not share them with everyone? And I don't want to do all the work on these images and then just not share them. That'd be quite sad. So I'm always happy to share these as best I can, and I put in as much work as I can to get these done. But there's still so much to do. I have a whole list of images I need to go through, and it gets longer by the day. I just can't keep up, but I consider that a good thing. Yeah. We can look at the other Air Force Base maybe later if I have time. I just don't want to get too distracted right now. But the USGS might have images of them. Yeah. I don't remember if there was anything else. But I was wondering with these images of Huntsville, I wonder if there's any signs of rocket hardware on the move, any stages or something. But I feel like that might be a long task of just sat here staring at pixels, following roads, seeing if there's anything on the road or at an airport or something. Like maybe there's something out here. But I mean, aside from just spotting like cool rocket hardware, I love these images just so you can see the history of places, right? You can see how much cities and towns have grown, how much airports have changed. There's a plane there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I just consider these like really, really important historical images, and I love that kind of stuff. And I guess you guys too, since you're here. So it's all part of the fun. All right, that's Huntsville. What else do we got? Jiaquan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sorry, my Chinese is not great. I don't know if there's a specific reason why I ordered these images. I might have just wanted more context for historical gaps in imagery. But, I don't want to just cover like one or two launch sites around the world. I want to cover all of them. See what everyone was up to back in the 80s. Am I in the right spot here? Don't see anything. I might have to be next image over, I think. We got. Where is this all facing? There's a launch pad down here. Looks like a mobile. Wait. Oh wait. Is this a launch pad? There's like a flame trench. Flame trench here. So this must be a launch pad. There's a launch pad on either side, I think. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. What do we got up here? Another launch pad up here with like a, I don't know if that's like a flame trench or like a spot for a building to roll back. This looks like a missile pad with like blast marks on it or something. That's pretty cool. I'm not too familiar with like the Chinese rockets from back then, so I'm not entirely sure what would have launched where and when. Looks like two launch pads here. I think those are like flame trenches. Yeah, I have more images on my list, like more locations I want to get images of. But again, it just comes down to money, and I don't like asking people for money because it feels wrong to me. Even though I didn't get a single cent of it myself. But one day we'll just get more. Like I want some of Japan, of Tanegashima out there. Probably like Korea too. I don't know where else I'm missing. but just getting historical context of all these places. So this one is Xicheng. Xicheng? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Where was the launch pad again? I don't remember where it was. It was over by the clouds. So I would assume in this image. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I will try to answer as best I can. I'm hoping to try and start georeferencing one of these images today. I probably won't get through all of it on stream because the average time to georeference one of these large images is like somewhere between 2 to 4 hours. And then there's like breaks in the middle when computers got to process things, and I don't think I can go for that long. I might end up like lying on the floor or something. It might be a bit boring for you guys. But okay, so we got Launchpad here. You can see the tower. The tower is kind of upside down from this. But you can see the crane on top of the tower. So I wonder if they were like stacking a rocket, because the pad's here. I see something at the pad. Maybe that's just lighting. But if the crane's facing this way, they could be about to stack something. That's interesting. And the tower is open, because there's the middle section of the tower here, and then there's like the doors on either side, right? I think. And now there's a second launch pad here-ish, I believe. That's not working. England's Black Arrow pad. Where did they launch that from? I know they launched. I think they launched one from Woomera in Australia, right? I think I did images of that. I think those are already on my website. I don't know if they launched elsewhere from the top of my head. Did they launch like from Africa, or was that France launched from Africa? Testing my history here. The limitations of what I remember. So that's pretty cool. Was that all the images, or was that one more? Vostokny in Russia, where Angara launched the other day. That was a pretty cool launch. I'm not sure if everyone here saw that, but it's good to see that pad finally get used after all this time. Even though it took 3 attempts. That's the way it is. That's how rocketry works, right? We all get excited on the first attempt, we get disappointed. Then the second attempt, we're all skeptical, but we're still disappointed. By the third attempt, we're just like, it's probably not going to go. But then it goes. And then you're like, wait, what? That's not right. Yeah. It was good to see. It's always good to see a new rocket, or newish, right? 10-year-old rocket fly on its 4th flight. So I believe Vostokny, it used to be mostly just ICBMs. I think there are ICBM pads just scattered, silos, I guess, scattered everywhere out here. But I think they also launched a few rockets back in the day, but now it's like really expanded with a Soyuz pad and an Angara pad. Yeah, third time's the charm, right? As it is oftentimes. I know we've had many rocket launches where it just won't go, and then the third time it does. So I'm seeing missile silos everywhere. There's one here. There is... I lost it now. There was another one somewhere. Another one over here. Another one over here. They're just scattered everywhere out here. There's 2 here, at least 2. I think there's more up this way, maybe. I don't know. Oh, look at this. That's that's serious stuff. I think there's some similar to this at Baikonur, if I'm not mistaken. Just in this kind of layout. Yeah, I don't know if they launched Black Arrow from the UK or England. I think they just did it from Australia. I don't know if they launched it anywhere else. Cool, cool, cool. I'm gonna get distracted real quick. I don't want to do that. I believe Rumera. Here we go. I know I have more images that need to be done because, yeah, this one didn't cover the 2 pads down here, but I think there was a pad down here. Is it gonna load? Come on. There's one here. I don't know what launched from what pad at Woomera. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think there's another pad out here. This looks like one. I think. I don't know if that's my connection being slow, but fingers crossed. This looks like a launch pad. This looks a lot like a launch pad. Yeah, that looks a lot like one. So maybe, I think I have one more image of Woomera that I haven't done yet. So maybe I can add that to my list and finally get that one out. But I really want to see if we can start putting these images together. See what we can do. So, what I do here is I have a little process that I do because that's not ideal. Boy. Here we go. Okay. So what I have is, I'm gonna go with these ones. So the black edges on the images, they can be a bit annoying when you're trying to merge all the images together because sometimes they're not exactly aligned, and they can throw off Photoshop's thought process. So first of all, I have to crop them out, and then I have to export them, and then I have to load them back into Photoshop, and then I have to merge them all together to get the one big image. And then I cross my fingers that Photoshop can save it, because sometimes the image is so big that Photoshop just won't allow me to save it. So, this is where the fun begins, and the tedious process of processing these large images. But I don't mind it. I find it quite therapeutic just to come in here and do a bit of magic, and then being able to share it with everyone in the name of open imagery, right? Free, easy access imagery. Because right now you can go and access all these images that we got scanned on the USGS website, but it's just not the easiest process. So I guess my goal is just to make that easier. And then just filter out the ones that you can see versus the ones that you have to pay for. Because I don't want anyone to have to pay for anything on my website. I feel like it just starts getting messy when you do that, and I don't really want to manage that. So I feel like if anyone wants to contribute, they can just use the GoFundMe, really. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so right now we're just saving a bunch of these files. We'll just let them all write, and these big files write and compress. How's the stream going, by the way? Is everything stable? It's showing pretty good on my end. I just hope audio and video is good for you guys. So just let me know if there's any issues, and I can panic and try to fix them if so. What type of format? Yeah, I saved them in TIFF and I compressed them with LCW compression. Otherwise, the files are just absolutely massive, and I don't really notice much of a difference in the quality when they're compressed like that. So I'm cool with it. I used to save them all in JPEG, which was quite embarrassing. But now that I've learned how to properly use TIFFs and how to get the most out of them, it's so worth it. And I mean, the file in the end usually comes out, especially for Baikonur, since it's such a large area. They usually ends up being like 4 GB ish for an image. And then you georeference it, and then it adds probably like another few hundred megabytes to that. So then I compress it down, because otherwise it's going to take forever to view on my website. And I don't want to put anyone through the pain of having to download large files. That's another thing, by the way. Like, I'm quite proud of being able to use Source Platform on my website. Like, I think that's pretty cool, because if you go and get these images from the USGS, even though they're free, we still have to download, it can be anywhere from like 2 GB to 12 GB for these files. And it's just a mess. And not everyone wants to deal with TIFF files and all that kind of stuff in the storage, especially if you're a mobile user, right? You don't want to be dealing with that. So basically, just on my website, yeah, they're big files. Yeah, I have many hard drives full of many images. It's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I'm quite curious now. If I just drag this over here, let's find out the size of my declassified satellite imagery folder just while this is processing. Otherwise, we're going to be sat here. Apparently, it's only 1.2 terabytes. I don't think that's right, because I have images stored in multiple places. I reckon it's probably about 2 terabytes worth that I have locally. I dread to think how many terabytes the full collection is, and I don't plan on downloading that anytime soon. So right now, I'm just letting Photoshop run its merging process. So it's going to merge these images into a mosaic. So it's all one giant image. I won't do the whole image, because that's just way too big, and I don't want to process however many millions of square kilometers that is. Yeah, so we're probably gonna do from about like here, just after this dry lake bed salt flat thing. I don't know exactly what that is, and we'll just come over and do all of this until the last pad is here. So probably somewhere around here we'll end it. Everything else is still available online for free, but I really don't want to spend like 10 hours georeferencing all of this. I might go even more insane than I already am. So, yeah. Um, yeah. You'll be surprised how quickly terabytes go once you start getting into satellite imagery and things like that. You don't really think much of it at first. I was kind of naive. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just like use a 2 terabyte drive, it'll be fine. And it fills up quick. It fills up really quick. I don't know how many terabytes I have on my computer, but it's a lot. And I'm looking at buying more hard drives, and I try not to think about the cost, but I do need it, especially for backups. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to lose anything, because a lot of this stuff I don't know if anyone else has it, and I have everything back up to a NAS, and I finally got that working after many headaches, which some of you here know, but we won't talk about that. That was painful. A storinator, is that like a servernator thing? Is that like one of those big things? I have to try to get that working. Alrighty. What I want to do is, while we're waiting for Photoshop to do its thing, let me scroll back up here. Wendover Air Force Base. I have no clue where that is. Oh, come on, ad block. That's embarrassing. All right. Wendover Air Force Base. Boom. Where is this at? Ow, my eyes, that's so bright. Okay, okay. We can go there. Let's go have a look at that. I've already forgotten. Here it is. So where exactly do they like land? The X-15. I'm talking about the X-15, by the way. Sorry, I just got completely distracted. Do they like land it just here on the runway, or like what's the deal? I should probably just go to Wikipedia, right, and have a look, educate myself. The Super NAS. Don't get me started on the DNS, please. It's been working well so far lately. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it keeps going. Look at that. That's a cool shot. That's a really cool shot. Alright, we want X-15. Or is there a dash in the middle? X-15. There's no mention of the X-15? Are you kidding me? Maybe I'm just... Am I looking at the wrong thing here? Please let me know if I'm looking at the wrong thing. Either way, I do like looking at airports. I don't know if this runway is long enough to support the X-15, because I know it took a lot, but interesting. It looks rather abandoned these days. Maybe not abandoned, but not what it once was, right? I feel like there's a lot missing. But check in on Photoshop. It won't even let me open it. That means, yep, it's busy. But I'm assuming this is the right place. And we can have a look and see. Apparently there are no images? I don't know if that's correct. Maybe it's just having a moment. Oh, it was launched. Oh, okay. Okay, so launched from window and then it flew to Edwards. Uh-huh. Okay. Now I get you. Now I get you. That was my confusion. So that flew a long way, all the way down to here. I don't know how close they dropped it, but yeah, good old Edwards, right? I think. Let me just check my archives, my local archives, see what I got. Edwards. Okay, I do have more of Edwards. Locally, so maybe I can eventually get to those. Yeah, because it's a low resolution image. Okay, it's almost like they intentionally are not releasing the highest resolution. Right now, Philip, we are just talking about the X-15 while Photoshop is processing. I got confused about airports. I didn't realize what launched from where and what landed where. So I was just being educated. But that's good. I like learning, and that's one of the goals of these streams, right? Is so I can learn from you guys, and then you guys can learn from me. Maybe I'm not so sure if I can teach you much, but I like being educated. Why does it look blue? That is interesting. I'm gonna switch it into grayscale. Don't merge, please. Yeah, that's fine. Why did it color it blue? We learn from Harry getting sidetracked. Honestly, that is how I learn too. I get sidetracked and I learn things. And then I have like random little bits of knowledge in my head for no reason. They're probably not going to get me anything, but you know, I don't have a problem with that. The X-15, oh yeah, it was pretty amazing. It's not my favorite plane, but I'm not disparaging it. It's a beautiful beast that served an amazing purpose, and I believe it taught us a lot. I'm not too familiar with it, if I'm being honest, but I know it was very important. And like, there's those iconic shots of it hanging under the wing of the B-52, right? Just amazing. Yeah. Not sure I'd want to fly it. And to be fair, I'm not sure if I'd want to fly anything after seeing how I fly in Flight Simulator. But yeah. I'm curious. Very curious. I didn't prepare enough. But I'm wondering if I have the bottom half of this image already. 1972, 10, 11. 72, 10, 11. I do. But it was taken from the other direction? Huh. Interesting. Oh, I see. I see. I see what's going on. Don't mind me getting distracted once again. So, okay. So what's going on here is, let me just check the numbers once again. Yeah. Okay, this is really cool. So I know it's upside down right now, and I don't really want to rotate it because I just don't want to mess up my process. But there is an N1 here, as we discussed before, hanging out on the launch pad. Now, this image we're looking at was taken by the KH-9's forward camera, so one of the cameras on the front, right? Now, at a different point in the satellite's pass, over Baikonur, it used its aft camera to capture this image. So this is the same N1 captured from the same satellite on the same day. I think it's the same pass. These images are rotated slightly differently. I believe so. Looking at the shadows, it looks like it was taken at the same time. Yes. So these two images were taken by the same satellite on the same flight overhead, just with two different cameras. That's pretty cool. That's a really nerdy thing. And you guys probably think I'm weird, but it's just like two angles from the same satellite on the same day. You know, that's pretty neat. I like neat stuff. Okay. So now I'm going to check the joins that Photoshop has done because sometimes it doesn't align roads correctly. That makes me sad. It makes me really sad. All right. First of all, stare at metal. Yeah, I used to stare at those metal tubes too. But then I got busy. I like seeing those metal tubes fly though. That gets me. I enjoy that. Hopefully we'll see the metal tubes fly again very soon. Okay, this join looks good. That makes me happy. And let's see what we got over here. Come on, you can do it, computer. Okay, that one's good. And oh, Photoshop was not happy about that. And we don't even need the last image, but that's all good. Okay, Photoshop has done a successful job so far. I don't want to jinx it because we're not entirely done. You know, I like metal tubes. Metal tubes are good, right? Especially all the ones from different companies. Different types of metal tubes flying is always a good time. Cool. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this in because I don't really want to do all of that. That will cause me a significant amount of pain. A pain and loss of sanity to do all of that. And if it brings you guys enjoyment, I can do it. But I'm not the dance monkey. Not entirely. It says 118,741 pixels by 21,898 pixels. It's kind of a lot. Yeah. It's kind of a lot. Yeah, we're at 118,741. Yeah, it's a lot of pixels. I believe there's a way to find out how many pixels entirely are in the image. Is it in here? It's a 2.47 giga. Is that gigapixel or is that gigabytes? I don't know what the G stands for. But there you go. There's the image size. It's a little bit excessive. Imagine if I put all the frames together. It'd probably be like 300,000 pixels wide. I wouldn't be able to sleep. Okay. So basically we crop that in. That's all one image now. What I want to check. Just crop these in so the edges of the image are just all flat. Because sometimes when you georeference an image and you have like bumpy edges, it can just go a bit funky. So I just try to clean up the edges a little bit. Where is the furthest point in these? I don't want to crop anything of importance out. But at some point I'll get the bottom half of these images. Again, it's just more money. So I'll just work with what I got for now. And so now, it may seem weird, but after I crop it, I push it out so we have transparency around the edges. And this is really important to have transparency when working with georeferencing because I can't do two things at once. If you georeference an image and it doesn't have transparency, you're going to end up with black borders around the image. And I know I've done that a few times, and it's just really, it looks tacky, and it takes away from the immersion of the overlay on top of like Google Maps. It just doesn't blend in as well when you have black borders all around an image. So even though it makes your image larger when adding transparency to it, it's worth it in the long run, just for the visual aesthetics, I guess you could say. I wonder how big this file is going to be. It kind of scares me, I'm not going to lie. And Windows is churning over here. It's like, oh boy. I don't know what the biggest image I've worked on has been, but it does get to a point where you try to export it from Photoshop and then Photoshop hits its limit and it's like, I'm sorry, I cannot do this. So I had to download some other software and it's not too bad. Once I figured it out, it wasn't too bad. But it was a cause of a headache for a while because I wasn't sure how to handle these large files. So I was like cropping them down and I had to crop things out that I didn't want to crop out. But now we problem solved that. I can't imagine doing Blender stuff. I tried to learn it at one point because there was some stuff I wanted to render and model and stuff, but I just gave up because it hurt my brain. It hurt my brain and my computer. So, does anyone want to guess the file size that we just saved? It's not as much as I thought. I'll tell you that much. In gigabytes is probably better. Um, 3.2. Less than 3.2. It is 2.58. So it's not too bad. I wish it was 976 gigabytes. I believe. I'm trying to think of the largest. There was one satellite imagery thing I did. I think that was, what was it? There was an earthquake in Nepal last year, I think it was. And I was processing some satellite imagery of that. And I believe the file came out to be like 120 gigabytes. I kind of filled up a hard drive. That was overnight processing. I think it was like 12 hours to export that image because it was so crazy. I don't want to think about that. That hurt me. Okay, what do we want to do? Should I throw together more of these images to the full size like I just did with I'm trying to open it now. It's not going to work. Would you rather me merge these images together, or would you like to see me begin georeferencing one? I'm probably not going to finish georeferencing today because it is a long process. But like, depends. I like the idea of merging them all together because then we can see all the images put together and see how they're meant to look. Yeah, that's when I started looking at hard drives. Yeah. I've been tempted to buy like just a 10 terabyte one lately and just get it over and done with, but it's just so much money. Yes, exactly. That's when we played What's in the Box. We should play. Look at this. I think something blew up here. This doesn't look right. This just caught my eye. That's something tells me something had a bad day here. Yikes. That's quite a big crater. We should play What's in the Box again. Maybe I can do it in the stream. Next time I order something, I'll get the box and we can play What's in the Box. That's always a fun time. Cool. All right. I'm getting distracted. Once again. Okay, let's do another one, shall we? It's kind of funny because when I think back to it, I remember when I first started getting into satellite imagery, and people would always be like, "Oh, like, don't you wish you had a KH9 or a KH7?" And I was like, "Man, like whatever. That's like classified stuff. I can't touch that. There's no point in me even taking interest in that imagery." And then I found out you can access it for free online, and I was like, "Oh boy!" And that kind of changed my view of everything. And now this is like some of my favorite satellite imagery. There are still some images that beat it, like the very high resolution images we get today, especially when there are rockets on the launch pad, like the one we got of Angara on the pad before it launched. That was pretty cool. I want to like frame that and put that on my wall. Those are always good days. Yeah. It's always exciting getting images down. And you know what I just remembered? I believe I have some Umbra images that I haven't processed yet. So maybe if you guys want, we can get distracted and look at some synthetic aperture radar images of places that I have had taken over the past 2 days. Because that's always a fun time. It's always a really fun time, I must say. Getting distracted. Okay, YouTube is screaming at me saying it's not receiving enough bandwidth or information stuff. Is this causing any issues for you guys, or is this just YouTube being silly? It's not causing issues because I don't know why it would be causing issues. If you want, I want to put that on a shirt. If you want, we can get distracted. I mean, we get distracted without even trying anyway, so bad buffering? Is it bad buffering? Is it like to the point where I should go and unplug everything? I'm getting a lot of drop frames right now. Starlink was not having a good time. Let me just check. I'll check Starlink. Have a look see here. No, Starlink looks good on my end. So something's downloading. I don't know what it is, but something's downloading, and it's downloading a lot. I wonder what it could be. I genuinely want. It is apparently my PC. I don't know what my PC is downloading. What is it downloading? Oh boy. Oh boy. This is what we call panic mode, my friends. I don't know what it could be downloading. Mm, I don't want to do that. Mm, mm, interesting. What is going on? Oh, I know what I can do. Task manager. Ta-da. Apparently, OBS is the only thing using. Nope. Never mind. I know exactly what it is, but I believe I shouldn't pause that. My Google Drive is. No, it's Google Drive. It's downloading something. Okay, wait, I'm gonna hope I don't reveal anything here. It's downloading a KH9 file. Huh. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna let that finish because I just realized the fatal flaw with my streaming setup. I have most of my streaming stuff stored in a folder that's linked to Google Drive, but if I pause Google Drive, I can no longer access it. Apparently, wait. Let's try this. Let's just try this. Let's break everything live. Let's do it live. Okay. That should stabilize things. I know what Task Manager is. Are you proud of me? Like, I know I'm not great with stuff, but let's see. It's still running. I just paused Google Drive and it's still running. Oh, guys, everything is broken. Yeah, on my end, apparently we've dropped more frames than that. It's not good. Or if I can just cancel this. This is awkward. Oh, it's this guy. Available. This is fun. Didn't you guys love technical issues? Okay, I'm so sorry if I butcher your name. I am so sorry, but I'm gonna do my best because I appreciate what you've just said to me. Von Strudelhaven, I think that's correct. Um, I appreciate you appreciating what I do, and I appreciate your kind words. That means a lot to me. Um, so I appreciate you being here, and thanks for showing up, even though I'm having technical issues right now. But this is all part of the fun. Um, we have not stabilized. Google Drive is having an issue. Whatever I do, stay away from DNS. I won't touch DNS. I think we're just going to have to ride this out. Google Drive is being really picky. It doesn't want to stop, and I don't want to blow anything up. So, worst case scenario, I might just drop my bitrate a little bit. Has it stabilized for you guys? Because, like, I don't know what to do here right now. And if it's not too bad, I might just power on through it. And I will fix this for next time so I can shut off Google Drive and we won't have this issue. Because I feel like a bit of a dummy, if I'm being honest with you guys. Okay, cool. YouTube is still complaining on my end, but as long as it's like relatively stable, I'm okay with it. But if it's like unwatchable, that's when I might just have to break things. I might fix this issue. While this is processing, I'm gonna try and work this issue. Because I think I know exactly what I need to do. Is do that. And my computer is not happy right now. This is funny. I'm really happy I upgraded my RAM as well. I don't know if that was before or after my last stream. but I recently upgraded my RAM because all the processing in Photoshop takes a lot of RAM. Photoshop is currently taking 62 gigabytes of RAM. Boy, I love this. This makes me happy in a really weird way because I'm kind of just like breaking everything, and it's part of the fun. Okay, I'm gonna make a temporary folder in here. It's probably not a good idea for me to show you my task manager, so you're just gonna have to trust me when I say yes, it's taking 62 gigabytes of my 128 gigabytes of RAM. Because I believe the way that Photoshop processes a lot of these images is it stores a lot of stuff in RAM. And the only way to clear that RAM is to close Photoshop. Which is interesting. And I am going to clear that RAM right now while I'm here with you guys. So what I'm going to do is, so you don't see my desktop, I'm just going to put this here for 2 seconds. We are going to right click and we're going to close Photoshop. And we're going to let that RAM reset or clear. I don't know the correct terminology for this. 24, 10, 4. There we go. Okay, now we're only using 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now we can open up Photoshop again. It's all going to be okay. There has been a few times where I've maxed out my 128 when processing these images. And that's when the fans on my computer really start going. When it just really, really, really goes nuts. It's still downloading. I don't know what's going on. It started again? Oh boy. I think it might be the undo history. Actually, that's a very good point. Although it also uses scratch disks, and I'm not entirely sure what scratch disks are. I think that might be related to undo history as well. Oh, I thought this is processing. I was just going to sit here and talk. Yeah, I have a 2 terabyte SSD dedicated to Photoshop scratch disks, which I believe is also something to do with like undo history and processing and things like that. Because the CIA, please no. I would like to live. I'd like to live and just keep processing satellite imagery. It's weird. YouTube sends me an email every time I go live. It's like, yeah, thanks. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, that's good to know. Because it used to use my C drive as scratch disk. But then I'd fill up my C drive. I think a few of you might remember the time where I filled up my C drive and it had like 10 megabytes left on it and my computer was completely bricked. And we were like, uh-oh, is it going to blue screen? But somehow it managed to pull through. So that was when I decided just to get a small dedicated drive for it. And okay. Yeah, I'm learning about RAM and hard drives and scratch disks today. Good. Okay. I'm going to do some. We're just going to break things live on the air. I am going to shut down Google Drive. I know. And okay, I just noticed one of my stream assets disappeared. Okay, the little spinny guy's gone, right? This is not very smart, guys. I shouldn't have done this live on air, but this is all part of the fun. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can fix this while Photoshop is processing. Because I want to fix this. I did not entirely fix this. Okay. I hope this isn't too boring, me fixing technical things on the air. Maybe it's fun. I need to relaunch Google Drive because I forgot something. Thoroughly thought out plan. Yeah. We don't need to look at that. Okay. I have to blur that out later. Okay. My hard drives are just a mess and they're all full. Oh boy. So we can look at this now, like looking at my RAM, right? Just in this process, since I started relaunch Photoshop, it is now at 27 gigabytes. And so I assume that's going to probably go back up to the higher 60, whatever it was, gigabytes over time. Ready. Copy that. I'm going to throw that on there. It's fine. We can call it the, the Aussie reboot of Call for Help. I don't really mind. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't want to experience like technical issues on the air, but like I don't really mind it as long as the stream is like somewhat alive. I think it's kind of fun, and solving technical issues together. I feel like it's kind of funny. That's why in the NSF Discord, I'm always having a fun time posting about my technical issues and getting help from people. Because one, I learned something, and two, I feel like we just have a fun time together. Just chuckling about how technically incompetent I am at times, which is most of the time. But just copying a bunch of stuff over to a place that my Google Drive is not connected to. And I'm just going to see if this works. My camera's really grainy. I don't know if that's just... Fun fact, the reason why it's so green behind me is not because my white balance of my camera is off. That's just called living in a jungle. And the sunlight comes down, bounces on the trees, on the leaves, and then it bounces right through the window, and there's like green light behind me. That wall is not green. That wall is like light gray. I saw someone mention that. I think it's like the last stream, or maybe it was the first stream. And they're like, "Why is this wall green?" I'm like, "It's not green. It's just the light." But just a little fun fact. Yeah, my problems do make sense. Usually me just trying to do weird things and then not knowing what I'm doing, but then doing it anyway. Likely cover story. Maybe it's a cover story, maybe it's not. Wait, hold on. Oh, the problem is solved. It's no longer downloading that file. So the stream should be good. We should be back in business. I hope. Now I just gotta get the spinny guy back. It's this guy. Let's see. Are you gonna break it? I think the little spinny guy's broken. Yeah, I didn't think about just like closing Google Drive and rebooting it because it forgets about what files you were downloading before. So now we know. We learned. Write that down. If Harry ever has issues with his Google Drive randomly downloading like a multi-gigabyte file in the middle of the stream, just close Google Drive and restart it. That fixes the problem. I was worried about that. When I relink the file, it just pops up in the middle of the screen. Oh, the whole entire screen could spin too. That'd be fun. Yeah. I used to have where I used to live, I'd have someone's car reflecting wild colors through my window. It would just be obnoxious. But it was pretty cool, but also obnoxious. Now I just have a forest to worry about. Okay, it looks like we have an image. I don't need to do that, do I? Okay, let's for funsies. That one only took 47 gigabytes of RAM. It's not too bad. We turned it on and off again. Yeah, the only issue with turning it off is that it breaks some of my stream assets. So as I go for like the outro and stuff, I don't know what's gonna happen. We might break something. So I'm kind of scared. But we'll be right. Hey, Dark Messiah. What location? This is currently we're looking at Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. We've also been looking at like Vostochny Cosmodrome in Russia, Marshall Space Flight Center in the US, two of the launch sites in China, and I think that was it. So we're just kind of just popping out all around, all over the place. Geez, if I can get my English in line. That word join looks really good there. That's nice. What do we got out here? Those joins look really good. Good job, Photoshop. Sometimes it has issues and it just can't join the images together very well, but today it's doing a really good job. I'm proud. Yeah, launch sites. Yeah. Yeah, these images are like just. I was gushing about them earlier at the start of the stream. Just like the quality and like the historical importance of these images is incredible. We're gonna rotate this around. Yeah, I think that. Sorry, I didn't pay much attention to exactly what I was looking to. I was just looking at the roads. We were down here. These are, I believe, these are like missile silos. I think. There are missile silos scattered all across Baikonur, which is pretty incredible. Although not like the happiest thing, I must say, but it's infrastructure wise, it's pretty cool to see. It's a shame that they have to be, missiles and bad things. Like up here, I believe these are like the Proton launch pads up here. There's nothing on the pads, it looks like. Yeah, just orienting myself there. I don't know what launch pads these are. There's like some interesting railings here. Got more launch pads here. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm seeing. I think those are light poles. I thought it was a rocket at first, but I thought it was light poles. Yeah, I think someone mentioned it before. It's like 50 something miles from one edge to the other, from over here to the last silo, which it's not even in this image, but I believe this road continues going up like here somewhere to where the final pad is. It's like 57 miles or something like that from end to end, which is absolutely massive. And I'm assuming you weren't here earlier when we were looking through the images, but check this out. There is a N1 moon rocket on the launch pad here, and I think this is the final one that ever flew, flight number 4. So it's really cool to get another image of this and get it out to the public, because I believe these images have just been sat in storage for 30, 40 years maybe. Way longer than that. This is 1972. So 50. Wait, is my math correct? 50 years? Yeah. So it's very. It's just fascinating to go through and look at these and finally get to be able to look at them and share them with people, and we can be nerds and look at all the tiny details and see how things have changed. Launching Starship from an underground silo. Something tells me that's not a great idea. You would have to have some sort of crazy, like exhaust duct trench thing somewhere. I mean, I guess technically it's possible, but I feel like it'd be a lot of work. I'm not sure if I'd want to be an engineer on that project. Really, any project. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just crop out these edges to make them all smooth. Yeah. Um, come on. Alrighty. So I was just thinking about taking a quick 5-minute break, but because I had to reboot some of my storage, I'm a little worried that my assets for my Be Right Back screen are not going to work, and we're going to have a really fun and awkward time. So I might have to do a quick test before I go, and we'll just have to see what happens, eh? Pull these sides in a little bit first as well. Okay, that's pretty good. Cool. I need to add transparency to this. If I forget that, I will be mad at myself. Ideally, I can just pop it to this folder with that. Okay, cool. I believe someone before was asking about the files I use, so I'm happy to share. Like, this is the settings that I use to save my TIFFs with LZW compression, saving transparency. That pretty much just default. I don't like to save as layers because it's kind of just pointless for me to have layers, so I just compress it all down into a single image. I'm going to just check in here. I think the stream is still running healthy. That makes me happy. So, here's the question. Here is the age-old question. Is my Be Right Back screen going to work? Because to be honest with you, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think the only thing that would be missing is the swirly guy. The little swirly logo might be broken, but I think everything else should be there. I'm not sure about the music. The music might be gone too. And I believe to relink that I have to OBS, restart OBS. I don't really want to do that because I think that would end my stream. Holy cow, you'd need an 825-inch TV. Boy. Is that what this is? I didn't look at the pixels of this, but I assume that's what this is. Okay, cool. Oh, hey, look at that. We got there's a spinny back in the banner. That's something. It's not playing. But it's something. Okay. All right. So, what I'm going to do is while this is exporting, which is nearly done anyway, I'm going to go grab a drink. Well, I should say refill my drink. Probably grab a snack because I'm getting hungry. When I get hungry, my brain stops working and I don't want to fall apart on stream. Yeah. Dark Messiah. Sir, let me help you out here. Oh, wrong window. Okay, Cam, you have a good night, and thanks for stopping by. I always appreciate you hanging out and being part of this crazy madness thing that I'm doing out here. Um, it's always good fun to have you here, and yeah, have a good night. And also, thank you for donating to the GoFundMe. I really, really appreciate that. So, thank you for doing so. I always appreciate your support. So, um, because I also talked to Dark Messiah. You can go. So, here we go. So, this is my website, and I'll drop a link into chat. Um, you can go here, and I have these interactive maps. Thanks to my friends at Saw Earth, or at Saw. And what you can do is view the map on top of Google Maps, and there's a transparency slider, so you can check them out compared to these days. And on my website, I have images from all the different launch sites from all different times. Most of the different launch sites. I think there's still a few missing, but it's on my list. But you can just dig through and have a check through here, and it's all for free. And there's no whatever. You don't need to download anything. It's all processed online. So I hope that helps answer your question. And I keep adding new images all the time. Last week I probably had like 3 or 4 images. I try to add a few every week, but sometimes I just get busy and I can't. Yeah, so I hope that helps. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna play a bit of a gamble here. I'm gonna put my be right back screen on, and we cross our fingers that it works. If it doesn't work and something goes terribly wrong, I would jump back in and just try to solve this issue. But fingers crossed. And just give me 5 minutes, and I will be back to continue for maybe 45 minutes and then wrap it up. So let's see what happens. All right, we're back. I have food. I had water, lots of it. I spaced out for a little bit just to relax my brain, and now we can continue. 555, good. Thank you. I didn't even think of that myself, so I appreciate that. I'm glad everything works. I'm sad that we didn't have the music or the little spinny logo, but it's fine. That was my fault. I accept my my mistakes, and we will learn for next time. I already have a system in place. I just can't implement it without restarting OBS, as far as I know. So I will deal with it. I will deal with it next time. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna convince myself it's fine. Okay, so we're done with Baikonur. So let's jump over to Huntsville, because I don't have any images of Huntsville yet. So let's begin that process. If I could even hit the right buttons on my keyboard. Yeah, I blame it on Google Drive too. It's really weird. As much as I love Google Drive, it still has issues. Like with that particular one, that file should have already been saved on my computer, but sometimes it just takes them off, and then you open that folder and it just decides to re-download it. I'm like, dude, please, not now. So when I was showing a different image earlier that was stored on my Google Drive, it should have all been local on my computer, but for some reason it decided to remove one of them from my computer and just store it only on the Google Drive. And as soon as I opened that folder, it decided to download like a 2 or 3 gigabyte file, and I had no clue what was happening. So lesson learned. And I'm gonna move all my stream assets onto, well, I've already moved my local stream assets, like the swirly guy, the music, and whatever else is missing. That's going to be all stored locally on a different hard drive, so we don't have that issue. So, yeah, but hey, look, I'm always open to learning, you know, and no one got hurt, nothing bad happened. It just means we just don't have music, and that's fine. We can go without. We can get one next time. I mean, technically I can add music, but I just don't want to mess up my OBS. I don't want to break anything more than it already is. We've been streaming for an hour and 45 minutes already. Holy cow. That explains. I should have replaced the camera battery because my camera battery is going to die. I didn't think about that. Well, we'll deal with it when it comes to it. Because I still need to buy a power cable for my camera. But it's expensive because cameras what am I doing? I'm doing this completely wrong because I'm distracted. Export, save the list of files. Here we go. And this is what we're after. Alrighty. Yeah. Like I was gonna use my webcam, but it just looks awful. And so I'm just using my DSLR. It's hanging from a tripod in a very precarious way. Is that the right word? Precarious? I don't know. But it doesn't look safe. But I mean, it works. And the battery lasts for about 2 hours when doing video. But the power cable that you need to get for it, it's so expensive. It's ridiculous. I think it was like $200 or something. It's crazy. But it'll be worth it. Especially if I'm using it a lot. What was I going to say? Remote shutter cable. Those are the best thing. Depending on your camera, you might also be able to use your phone. But it depends on the camera and stuff. I know not every camera has that. But remote shutter cables are great, especially if you're doing like long exposures or you just want a nice still shot. They are great. Also, just using like the built-in timer on the camera is also always great. If I'm in what am I doing? If I'm in no rush when I'm doing photography, especially like landscape photography, I would just set like a 2 to 5 second timer and just smack the button, just let the camera settle for a few seconds, and then it takes the picture. But I know not every scenario is good for that, and also not every camera has that. So yeah, no, remote regardless is good, especially if like it's the backup. You just have one more way of doing it, and yeah. Actually, interesting thought. I wonder if ULA's factory might be too far away. I don't know exactly where it is. I think it might be just out of this frame. I think it's like somewhere down here. But I'm getting distracted. So this is so we're going to crop that up and replace that. We're going to save. That's good. Alrighty. So the goal might be just to get through the rest of these images, and then I might call it. So maybe like another 30 minutes or something. We'll see. We'll see if I get distracted. I try not to get too distracted, because I really would like to get through all these images with everyone here. Yeah, okay. So this is cool. So I should probably explain this before just cropping it out without saying anything. Probably wondering, why is there just a big black bar in the middle of this? So this is like the piece of film, right? Imagine a really long stretch of film. And this is like in between two images. So this side on the left is the image that we paid for. And then there's like a gap in film, and then this is the next image. So this is, I don't know, I assume it's still relatively close to Huntsville. So that's just like the next slide on the film. But we don't need that because that's not going to line up with what we're doing. So I'm just going to crop that out. And I usually don't crop right to the edges of the black area on the film, just because it can be a little bit blurry around there. So I just take a chunk out, and just to get the smoothest, cleanest, sharpest image possible. Cool. Alrighty. So now we're going to merge these together. Huntsville is a really cool place. I should say specifically, I don't know much about Huntsville itself, but specifically Marshall Space Flight Center. Just, I mean, the amount of history that they have there, from engine testing to structural testing. What else do they do at Marshall? I'm blanking. But I know, like right now, it's being used a lot for, like, obviously Blue Origin is testing their BE3s and BE4 engines there. And according to a lot of reports from locals, apparently that's really ramped up. So that's a good sign for them getting their engines up and running. Apparently some people have been reporting they're hearing like what sounds like restarts. So it's possible that they're doing well with engines for New Glenn and getting them ready for landing burns and stuff like that, which is awesome and incredibly exciting. Hopefully we'll see New Glenn launch before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. I know that Sierra Space, I think they are pressure testing their inflatable space habitat modules things out there. They just inflate them until they go pop, so they can learn about them. ULA, I know they have test stands out there. They have the ones for like the Centaur. I'm not sure about Vulcan. I don't know much about the core stage of Vulcan, I should say. They have the Centaur test stand out there. Yeah, and what else? There's someone else. They're like testing mini SRBs out there or something. I think it was like mini 5-segment SRBs or something. Yes, I saw the Atlas silo that got sent to Airbnb. That was so cool. I don't know if I'd want to stay in it though. It's kind of creepy. I feel like I wouldn't be able to sleep, but it would be cool to visit it. Yeah, I've heard there's like a bunch of silos like just listed on the market, but no one wants to buy them just because they're all falling apart. I don't know how true that is, but I remember seeing something about that. So maybe maybe we could after we raise funds for a satellite, we could go buy some silos and convert them into like a base of operations or something for non-malicious purposes. Let's just be very clear about that. Okay, this is running into the slow part of the process here. Check these notifications just in case they're urgent. Okay, cool. So we have, I'm not sure if we're going to get through all these today because they are quite long processes. This is only number 3. We're only on image number 3, and we're an hour and 54 minutes in. Whoops. Although we did get distracted. I will say that. Well, I got distracted. We all got distracted. We're all in this together. But that's part of the fun, right? And it's good to hang out with other people, because like I mentioned earlier, I'm often just sat here alone, just like digging through pixels and seeing what I can find. So what I might do is I might just open this up because this is cool. So I have so many windows open right now. I just lost my YouTube window. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I know there's places in Florida where there are just some I think there are old Atlas rockets just light about, like in the swamp. I know there's that one space shuttle external tank that's just kind of sat out in the open, and you can like go right up to it. So it's just crazy. There's like some rocket parts just lying about. There are some places where there's just like rocket engines like bolted down next to the side of the road or something like that. That's really cool. I like that kind of stuff. Does anyone have any like questions regarding these images or anything satellite imagery? Like I'm happy to try and answer. Can't promise an answer because there are some things I can't talk about or I don't know about, but I'll do my best if there are. Delta IV Core. Is that the one? Because I know there's one at the Cape, at the museum at the Cape, and it's like all like it's like discolored because it's been sat on the sun. I don't remember the other one. Maybe I just haven't heard about it. Yeah. It's a shame that they're all like just abandoned. But I guess it's better than them having missiles in them. And in a weird way. All right, that's this one done. Let's go ahead and check the rest. Favorite non-spy imaging satellite. That's tough. I really like Airbus's Pleiades. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I've heard it pronounced like multiple different ways, but they're Pleiades Neo satellites. Specifically 3 and 4 because 5 and 6 are on the bottom of the ocean. But those satellites are amazing. They are, in my opinion, they're currently like unrivaled for optical imagery. That's commercial and not classified, just to be clear. Getting that like sub 30 centimeter imagery, it's so crisp. I mean, not to plug my website again, but think I added it. Yeah, like this image of Angara on the pad. Look at that. Like that was taken from space. That's a rocket. Like that's insane. It's just such crystal clear images. They just look so good. The image quality is great. There's like barely any like chromatic abrasion or weird pixelation that you get in older satellites. It just looks really, really good. It's a shame that they lost the other two on Vega. It's a real shame, but I hope Airbus will invest and build two more. It's just, yeah, it still breaks my heart. But then, like I'm also a really big fan of Umbra. Like again, Baikonur and like Umbra satellites, they are tiny. I think they're only like 80 kilograms, right? And they can get these down to 16 centimeter images in radar. Like it's bonkers what they can do. And I do admit my understanding of synthetic aperture radar is not the greatest. It really confuses me, but I'm in awe by it. Like, I mean, look at these shots of 39A and 39B. Like, there's just so much detail. And, like, obviously the fun part with radar is you can pierce through the clouds or you can take images at nighttime. It's just incredible. Incredible technology and a satellite that's so small. And by such a young company. I think Umbra's only 6 or 7 years old. I don't remember exactly when they were founded. I don't know, but they're pretty young. And they only started launching satellites not that long ago, and they're just earning the market. Plus, like with Umbra, they also have their open data archive, which anyone can access, and I think there's like over $2 million worth of free satellite imagery in their archive. It's just, yeah, hats off to Umbra. They're awesome people, good friends of mine, and yeah, I will happily pimp their stuff anytime. They're very awesome. What else we got? Yeah, KH7 images are still classified. It probably will be for a long time. There was a few that I won't name him, but there was a certain president who leaked like one image. I don't know if there's any other KH11 images out. Maybe that was a 12. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but he leaked one of those. Anyway, what else is there? I saw something else. Favorite non-Starship rocket? I don't really have a favorite rocket. I just like them all. I think New Glenn is just beautiful, and I'm excited to see it fly, but I don't really like picking favorites. I mean, like Falcon 9 is just a workhorse. Like, seriously, like how many flights? They're aiming for like 100 and something flights this year. Like, that's insane. But obviously, like, I'm looking forward to Terranara, and Electron's the beast. I know it's had its issues, but it's still a great little rocket. What am I forgetting? I love Atlas. I love Vulcan. I love all the rockets, really. As long as the rocket isn't a scam or like trying to hurt people, I like it. ABL, Firefly. I like Firefly's rocket because it's all black and it's got a shiny nose cone. Fairing. Sorry. I mean, the Chinese rockets are wild. They're wild. And then, I mean, I love Soyuz. Soyuz is beautiful. It's just like this industrial looking beast that's just barely ever scrubbed, and it's just achieved so much. I really do love Soyuz. And like, the Korolev cross and all that kind of stuff. It's just epic. What did I forget? I don't want to forget anyone, but I'm probably going to. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too picky with rockets. I like them all. Like I'll always support any space company. Again, as long as they're not a scam or they're not trying to hurt people. Like I just want us to go to space and do cool things. I don't really care about picking favorites really. Um, Even if there is a rocket where I'm like, oh, that is the most beautiful rocket I've ever seen. It's not like I favor that rocket over any other one, if that makes sense. I don't really like tribalism in general. I know a lot of people just have fun with it, and that's fine. It's just like an innocent bit of favoritism, but I want to support everyone, whether it's Starship or Electron. Or, yeah, yeah. Justin, you scrubbed like every rocket. You scrubbed the Soyuz, you scrubbed Angara. Yeah, Falcon 9 has done a lot to get a lot of people in the community. Um, yeah, I feel like I missed something in chat. Maybe I just got disconnected. Um, Vulcan was beautiful. I'm really looking forward to seeing Vulcan fly. Wait, will Vulcan fly without SRBs? I don't know if it will. I can't remember. But if it does, I'm looking forward to that because I want to see those BE4s just shining on their own. Nothing against SRBs. They look cool. But I just want to see those BE4s just having their time in the sun. SLS was incredible. Like I know it's expensive and I know it's like kind of out of date. But man, that thing is just to see that fly. I hope the next launch is in daytime because I really really want to see that thing fly in the daytime. I prefer rocket launches in the daytime. I've heard launches are more spectacular at nighttime when you're in person, but I don't know when I'll get the chance to do that. So for now, I like daytime because I get all the views. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. They should strap like two more BE4s onto Vulcan, just so they can do that. But all right, this image is done. That only took me like 15 minutes. That wasn't too bad. We might be able to get through this. We'll see. Although I'm starting to feel tired. We'll see. We'll see. And I have other things to take care of today. Can you believe it? I wish I could sit here all day and do this, but I can't. Okay. Yeah, I was really nervous for Vulcan. I think a lot of us were, especially because obviously that was BE4's first flight, and they ran into some issues with development, which is it's understandable. But hearing that the BE4s perform pretty much perfect, that was really confidence inspiring, and yeah, I hadn't been that nervous for a launch since probably DM2, I think. Um, because I knew a lot depended on that. Obviously, as well, like that if something went wrong, that would have implications with like Dream Chaser and Kuiper. I guess Kuiper can launch on Atlas for now, but yeah, and all the other things. Um. Oh wow, so 9,200 kilograms. That's pretty good. IFT. I wasn't too nervous with the IFT one because I guess I was more excited than nervous because with Starship, especially that the first launches, like whenever it's been like SN8 or SM5 or IFT1, I was like, I kind of expected things to go wrong, and I was expecting a lot worse than what happened. I set my expectations pretty low, um, which is that's not a knock against the Starship team or the SpaceX team. Just to be clear, it's just like that's just how they work, right? It's iterative testing, and sometimes things go horribly wrong, and I wouldn't shame SpaceX if things did end up worse than they were. Like it happens. Um, but that was eventful. But those shots on IFT3, those onboard shots, man, I was so faced from smiling so much. I'm sure a lot of us did. But did I save this already? I can't remember if I saved this. I'm talking too much. I did. I did save this. Yeah, I know your expectations, Justin. Don't worry. And the launchpad did a big boom. The launchpad impersonated a volcano, which was fun. Fun times. All right, we're gonna do one more. Do one more, and then I think I'm gonna have to pop out, go, go and chill because getting sleepy, tired. I don't want to burn all my energy for the day. Maybe I can do another stream soon because I know I leave like 3 weeks in between streams at the moment, but it just comes down to timing for me. Cool. Got all right. So now we're over to China, the middle of the desert. That's it for me. Oh, it's later than I thought it was for me. Alrighty. That was easy. Where am I? Export files to layers. Yeah, the IFT stream is great. I'm glad I didn't launch too late early because what am I doing? I would have been very tired. So I'm happy with these early morning launches. They can keep going with those for a long time. Yeah. What else is flying soon? I know like ABL, the second rocket was at the launch pad. I don't know if it's still there. I assume it would be. So hopefully we'll see an ABL launch soon. Hopefully they'll make it, or at least get a lot closer, but we'll be cheering them on. Is anyone else new coming online? Obviously, like Stoke is doing really cool stuff. I'm excited to see where they go. Probably missing someone. I know there's like a bunch of European companies are going to be trying to launch, I think this year, which should also be cool. Yeah. Gilmore Space. Yeah, I'm excited to see them fly. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. Um, I'm in no rush to go and see a launch, even though it's kind of close to me. It's still, I think, still like a 12-hour drive away from me or something like that. But I'll be cheering them on, and hopefully things will go well. More rockets, more better, right? Isn't that like Jack's slogan? It's like more something, more better. I am stoked for Stoke. I'm not like too hyped right now because obviously they're still early in development, but once they get a rocket out to the launch pad, well, once they get a launch pad built and then get a rocket out to the launch pad, I'll be super excited. Looking forward to tracking the launch pad construction with satellite imagery. That should be fun. More everything, more satellite images, more better. That's what I say. That's my thought. How's the stream health going, by the way, guys? Are we going good? I'm not like downloading anything, am I? Destroying my internet? No, apparently not. The only thing that's using my internet is really just OBS. Nice. We're looking good. 5x5, awesome. Cool. I appreciate everyone stopping by. It's always good fun. When I started streaming the first time, which was only 2 streams ago, but I didn't really expect anyone to show up. I thought I'd just be sat here blabbering to myself. So it's cool to have some people come and chat, and, share this cool stuff with. Because like I've already mentioned many times, I'm going to repeat myself once again. If it wasn't for me streaming, I'd just be sat here and doing it all alone. So it's cool to share this with you guys, and hopefully we can continue to learn together about everything, whatever we discuss. As long as we're talking about space-related stuff, I am more than happy to do it. Let's keep running. Alrighty. Still going. What else am I gonna try to think of? Okay. I'm gonna risk something here. We might break the stream, but it's worth it. We've already broken it multiple times today, so I don't see any harm in breaking it once again. So I want to share it with you guys. We have, because this is still processing. We have, I wonder if it's going to load, an Umbra image of the launch and landing facility at KSC. Oh, I can't open it in Photoshop because Photoshop is processing. So I got to open it in this. There was a buffer, of course there was. So this doesn't look as great because I'm not viewing this image in the best viewer for this. But I think this is like a 35 centimeter per pixel synthetic aperture radar image of the launch and landing facility. And this is Amazon's Kuiper payload processing facility under construction, which is pretty neat. I'm curious to start seeing operations out there, because there'll be 3 different rockets, 4 different rocket variants going in and out of that building. There'll be Atlas, there'll be Vulcan, there'll be New Glenn, and Falcon 9 bearings all going inside of that building. So that'll be good fun. I believe there's still more work going. That's so cool. This is the I think this is the radar that they use to monitor. It's to do with like wind monitoring or something at the Cape. This is how they learn about like the winds or something. I don't know. I'm not a weather guy. I don't know this stuff. I'm talking out of a place where I probably shouldn't be talking. Excited for the Australia Eclipse 2028? Yes. I'm considering heading down to New Zealand and viewing it from New Zealand. Because I think over here it's going right over Sydney. And I don't really want to go to Sydney because it's so busy. I feel like it's just going to be a mess to try and get in. So I might head down to New Zealand, try to find a quiet spot, and just enjoy it. Just embrace myself in the moment of the eclipse. Probably just bawl my eyes out crying. But yeah, I'm very excited. Might have to start planning sooner than later, but I would definitely love to do that. I don't really want to focus on taking photos either. I just want to enjoy it. I'll probably set like a camera or 2 down on like an automatic timer and maybe a video or something, but I want to go and just kind of like enjoy it, because I've seen one eclipse before, but it was only a partial eclipse and it was cool, but I really want to go like into totality and just have my mind blown. I'll probably freak out, but it's part of the fun here. Processing is so much fun, Evan. I enjoy it. It doesn't cause me headaches. It'll make me cry. July 28th. Hey, that's like near my birthday. So I can have a birthday trip. I can go to New Zealand near my birthday, go see a solar eclipse, and maybe catch a Rocket Lab launch. That would be fun. Okay, are we done? Cool, we're done. All right, let's go in and check roads. We got that one's good. And wow, there's like nothing out here. It's literally just desert. Okay, there's some roads here. Oh, not roads, tracks. That's good. Cool. All right, let's merge these together. Ooh. It'll be worth the wait. You know, you got to share it around. I know Europe's getting a bunch. I think like the Middle East is getting one, and obviously Australia is getting a few. I think Asia's getting a few more. So it'll be good to share them around, let everyone get some eclipses. I think there was one a few years ago, and was it like I think it was in like Eastern Asia, and it was the one at sunset. So like it was like a really red eclipse. It was like a I think they called it like oh god, I can't remember what they called it. Like a blood eclipse, something like that, because it was so red while on the horizon. Um, that looks pretty cool. 10 out of 10 would go to see it. What's going on with this image? I've got a transparent area over here. Is it because my RAM is full? It's because my RAM is full. 107 gigabytes of RAM being used. Yikes. Okay. Well, that's awkward. That is quite awkward. I think I got more RAM. Maybe I should go and download more RAM. I was tricked by that once. I was like, oh, my computer doesn't have much more RAM. This is like a long time ago. When I was in high school, I knew nothing about computers. I still know nothing about computers. But someone's like, oh, you can just download more RAM from this website. I was like, whoa, that's so cool. And then I realized, wait, what am I doing? Yeah, it's all used. It's all used. My memory is currently at 96%. I'll show you this. Am I gonna like? I'm not gonna like dox myself or anything, am I? By showing you, I don't think so. I just like pull that down. There you go. See, there's my memory. How good is that? And that is just Photoshop. Like everything else is only using like probably like less than 10 gigabytes of RAM, but Photoshop is just eating everything else. Um, yeah. So Common Harry L J drive. What is my J drive? But apparently that's being used. I don't know what my J drive is. Oh, that one. I wonder this is going so slow. I put this on a hard drive and not an SSD. Man, I'm a dummy. Yeah. No, don't mind me. Just ignore me. I just had a realization about my. I forgot how my computer was set up. It's all good. I got hard drives mixed up, thinking some were SSDs when they're hard drives, but I'm tired. We've been streaming for nearly 2.5 hours. My brain isn't used to talking this long on its own. Okay. Cool. All right, I think we're done for now. I might have to call it. This has been really, really fun. I appreciate everyone always stopping by. Yeah, I know it's getting late over in the US. So I think we can all start to go to sleep. But again, if you guys want to check out, any of the images I've done, Just head over to my website, and everything over there is for free. Got high resolution images of. I try to get as many launch sites as I can. I think there's still some missing. We've got aerial images, which are usually higher quality, covering larger areas. Even some really old stuff. Like, this is one of my favorite images of all time. Cape Canaveral before it was developed in 1950. And let's set that just a satellite. You can just see how much has changed. One of my favorite things. Like, LC-39 just came out of nowhere. It was just swamp, and they just like built these amazing pads on it. So that's a really cool thing. And there's just a bunch of stuff. I got a few maps on there, and then like links to all these resources where you can get free imagery and stuff like that. So yeah, feel free to check it out. And I do also have. I hate plugging like money things, but I do have a Patreon if you guys are interested in supporting what I do, because what I do is very expensive and it's all done with my own money and things like that. But if not, no worries. I don't like expect anyone to pay me or anything like that, or help pay for imagery. I totally get it. But Slick 6 one, this one, yeah, this is the new one. It's pretty nice. There's like no changes going on there at the moment, but we'll be keeping an eye on it. Got like a new Glen on the launch pad, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, there's also my Patreon. There's also a GoFundMe for these declassified images. Yeah. But other than that, I appreciate you all hanging out, and I am going to go and rest. And there goes my camera right at the end of the stream. So with that, just like the first stream, I'm going to call it right there. So I'll leave you with some images with my awkward camera disappearing, and we will talk later. So thank you all for hanging out, and have a good night, good day, whatever it is, wherever you are. And see you all next time.